What's up, everybody? So, back again with another interview, and I do these. I really love them. Gentleman, I'm bringing to you all today. I actually didn't know much about him. I want to be transparent. When we first met, he was literally just making money. Like, dude didn't talk. He was like not really responsive, but he was just like, I'm just making money. Keep giving me the leads. And he works with somebody that I'm close with and one of our top Apex clients. But it's none other than Jaden, man. I appreciate you for hopping on today.
Of course, brother. I appreciate you having me.
Of course, of course. So let's hop in from the start. I always like to ask this. How did you get into life insurance space?
Yeah, funny enough. So I used to start out doing mobile detailing. So first I was in college. I worked in my dad's tint shop. That's where I learned how to detail, paint correction, ceramic coats, doing all that sort of stuff. And then I partnered up with one of my buddies who had a mobile detailing business. And I did that for about 6 months. We did a lot of high-end cars, and we would like always try to reach out to people, just do as many cool cars as we could. So we saw Bowen. I don't care. Yeah, we saw Bowen in his Lambo, the STO, and we hit him up. We DM'd him. We're like, yo, if you ever need anything, let us know. So a couple weeks later, he hit us up, was like, yo, pull up to the office and come detail some people's cars. So we pulled up, and then I was like, dude, you're young, you're successful. What do you do for work? And he's like, oh, we do insurance. And he's like, come check out the office. So we checked out the office. I saw the people, the environment, the money that was being made. Obviously, money draws everybody, but everybody was young. It wasn't like a bunch of old farts sitting in office chairs. It was young people who were hustling, making money. And so I basically recruited myself. I bugged him, hit him up until he let me join. And I've been in it for like about a year right now.
Damn, I did
Yeah.
not. So that's actually a pretty dope story. Shout out to Boone for sure. So I'm a new agent and I'm watching this. Tell me about your first 30 days, your very first 30 days a year ago, Jaden. How was that?
1000%. First 30 days is always going to be the most crucial. I came in very, very prepared. Now, when I got the script, when I did the boot camps, the trainings, that was before my first day dialing. So, one thing that I tell all my new guys, that I tell every single person who's brand new to the business, is if you come in on your first day down and you don't know that script front to back, back to front, you're already behind. So it's crucial to know exactly what you're talking about on the script, because it allows you to pivot around in a conversation instead of having to sit here and look at your computer trying to read what to say when someone tells you something. No conversation is going to be like the last one. It's going to be different every single time. And if you don't know what you're talking about, or if you don't know how to move around, you're going to get stuck every single time. My first 30 days, I was obviously running super, super aged leads, like year old, year and a half old leads, final expense. I mean, I came in on my first day, I closed a deal. Some people are like, dude, you're so talented or skilled, blah, blah, blah. But it was because I came in prepared. I was already ahead, and I had fun with it. Ripped a couple more deals. I mean, it was obviously inconsistent at the start. And the second I started making some money, I immediately reinvested back into the business, bought higher intent leads. They were not that high intent, but they were higher intent for sure. But yeah, I would say my first 30 days it was all brand new to me, but I just took it day by day, did what I could. And one day turns to 30, turns to 2 months, turns to six, turns to a year.
For sure. Talk about the transition from final expense to mortgage protection.
Yeah. So I came from obviously final expense. It's the easiest kind of sale. It's very easy. There's very minimal value building that needs to be done. It's just old people who need burial, final expenses covered. So you're not really digging deep, and it's a much easier sale, but that's why the business is not as sticky. Persistency is very much lower on final expense. From final expense, I started getting into just general life, term, whole life, etc. And then I got into IULs. Persistency was bad on all of them. Okay. Now, obviously, I was doing what I could to cement the deal, make sure it stayed on the books, etc. And I saw the people around me who was crushing it on mortgage. They weren't getting chargebacks. They were consistent, and their persistency was good. So I was like, all right, I'm getting on mortgage. It's going to be a different learning curve for sure, but I'll figure it out. I mean, it was definitely a game changer because, I mean, one of the biggest statistics is like 90% of people fail out within their first year of insurance. And one of the biggest reasons for that is chargebacks. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do to minimize chargebacks and make sure that I become as profitable as I can? And was mortgage. I mean, my persistency is over 90%. And so when I close a deal, I'm not sitting here having to worry about, oh, is it going to be insufficient funds? Are they going to charge back in a couple months? because it's a difference when you're protecting a home. It's a tangible thing. When people think of final expenses, there's nothing tangible to it. They know they're going to pass away. They don't know when though, so it's easy for them to be like, okay, well, I'm not concerned right now. I'd rather save the money and then get it later. But a mortgage protection is, obviously, these people go into their house every single day. They see their kids playing on the carpet in the living room. They see their husband making dinner, or they are making dinner, or whatever it is. They see their family in the house. So it's a tangible thing, which makes it that much easier for them to realize every single day when they walk in the house, hey, I got this, to protect my family. So it makes the persistency better. The people are more qualified. The business is stickier. Now, I will say it is a harder sale, most definitely a harder sale. And there's a much bigger learning curve. But once you can figure out how to build value, how to build a gap, and sell at a high level with mortgage, it is way more profitable long term. That's my honest, true opinion. Like, I'm glad that I'm running mortgage. I will not go back to anything else. 1000%. But
Yeah. No, you're spot on. I try to tell people that. They just think I'm trying to sell them because it's a more expensive lead. And I'm like, bro, no, I'm trying.
that's not that. Yeah.
But you know, some people it is what it is. Okay, fast forward. Appreciate you for sharing that. How were you introduced to us or introduced to me? Obviously, you don't have to name drop, but like walk through kind of like your first experience with us and then transitioning now that you're in the ownership package where you guys have your own leads and stuff. Can you talk a little bit about like that intro position to kind of like where we're at now?
1000%. So I was running a different lead type before. I was spending 1250 a week on leads, and I saw Jerry. I don't know. I'm good. All right. I saw Jerry was crushing it on these leads. I saw one of my boys was crushing on these leads, and I was like, "Hey, like, what leads are you running, bro?" He's like, I'm running trays. I'm running the agent lead lab leads." And I was like, "All right, bet." So I finished out my leads for that month because I was like, "All right, we're gonna start new month, get into it." Because I had to set up the CRM we had to do, or we had to set up the leads, the campaigns, everything like that. So gave it a little bit of time, and then come. Hold on, let me check. What was my first month? My first month was, I believe, July is when I had my first month on them, and they were solid. I mean, I'm looking at my sheet, fifth lead in, closed. It was like 2000 something AP, and I mean, I was getting a ton of leads, so and my cost per lead was lower. Obviously, there was still the weekly retainer, and that's where Jerry was big on setting up something bigger to make everyone more profitable, have a system in place. We talk about systems, but a lot of people don't have systems. So obviously it was crucial to us to have systems, not only for me, for him, for all the producers, but our downlines, our new agents, getting them paid, having them have a system. I would say jumping from just the individual campaign to the, what do you call it? The team or
So the apex.
the Apex. The Apex plan is so like everything that's included in it is actually dope. And it's sick for us because we have a team, obviously. So it's not like it's one person. If we have a team of people who are all chipping in on the retainer. And obviously it's worth every single dollar, especially because of how many people are able to utilize the stuff. It's not just one person. Obviously, it's sick for just me, but the fact that 8 of us or 10 of us are using it is like just makes everybody more profitable and be able to see the business in a different way. I don't, I mean, one thing that changed the game for me, I'm not gonna lie, is the CRM. That thing is, I'll be talking about it every single day. That thing is solid. Like, actually, the fact that leads come in, we have the voicemail set up, we have the drip text set up. I mean, there's people where it's been days, and normally on normal things, I would just, I'd call them here and there or whatever. But the fact that these people are getting drip texts and they're getting voicemails and they're getting reminders. I mean, I booked like 5 appointments from that days, weeks after the lead came in. And that's sick. Like, the lead comes in, I can literally not touch it and have an appointment booked, which is solid. And that's a huge thing too, because obviously you can dial all day long, but if you can get self-booked appointments or people who are interacting with you, a lot of people don't pick up phone calls, but when you text them, they know who it is. You're way more likely to get them to pick up the phone because they've been talking to you. Other than that, I mean, it's solid. Like, I'm very happy with, and you guys are very receptive as far as wanting to receive input on what's working, what's not. And it's not like you get pissed off or you get upset. Oh, what do you mean that you don't like this or that? It's like, okay, yeah, let's fix that. Let's update it. Let's see how we can improve. And that's what I look for when partnering with anybody leads wise.
100%, bro. Dope. Appreciate you for sharing. Let's transition. Why you're actually here, we ain't even talking about. First of all, best month working with us, and that's only been what, 2 months. But as far as
Mhm.
going to production, just so they know before we actually start talking about sales, because that's the reason why I brought you on here. But what are you typically doing per week, per month? Let's talk about that. Then we'll go into scripts.
Yeah, per week obviously varies depending on the field, the week. I mean, I think last or a couple weeks ago, I did 15,000. Some weeks it'll be seven, some weeks it'll be eight, some weeks it'll be 15. Obviously it varies, but on the average month, it's 30, 30 to 35, I would say.
Yeah.
And I'm on low lead spend for what that is, which is insane.
We're not. We ain't even gonna talk. We ain't talk about that off record. But yeah. By the way,
Yeah.
he's not even really spending anything. To be honest with you, he's being very humble about his numbers. He gets like 10 leads. Literally, his branded leads that came in, 10 of them. He closed like three of them. And I was like, damn. The whole group closed. You guys closed like six, which is insane. I tell people all the time. I'm like, branded is a whole different ball game. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's talk about sales though, real quick, bro, because that's really why I brought you on here.
Mhm.
Be really good for new agents, existing agents, everybody in between. First, I wanted you to talk about your mindset when you are going to dial leads.
Yeah. Mindset when I'm dialing it, I mean, I've gotten over the course of this year, I've gotten very good at being detached from the outcome of anything, any phone call, any sales. And I think that's super important is to be detached from the outcome because I've noticed a lot of people they'll run into being so obsessed with what happens on the call that they get nervous, they get scared, they don't flow and it messes them up. I obviously when I dial a lead, when I dial somebody, it's just another lead. It's another day. And I don't look at it like I need this, I need that. Like I'm just there to assist and service them to the best of my ability. And obviously the mindset going into that is we are in the realm of like an analogy is you go to the doctor's office, right? The doctor doesn't have hot breath like, okay, what prescriptions do you need? Like, you know what I mean? You go there and they say what do you feel you need? How can we help you? How can I service you? And that's the same mindset that I go into it when I'm dialing leads because I'm not here to sell. Obviously I do sell, but the biggest thing that shifted a lot for me is it's from Jeremy Miner actually. He said we don't sell two people, we sell four people. And that flipped a switch for me is like who's going to be more grateful, the person who got sold and now their family's taken care of when they pass or their house is covered, or the person who didn't want to get sold. I didn't do my job to the best of my ability. And now they're going to be in a worse situation when something does happen. So I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that what we're doing is helping people. And that's a huge aspect of it. If you're going into it just thinking like, I just want money, I just want sales, I don't really know if I'm helping people. It does something to your brain to where you're not able to actually do the best of your ability. And that's where for me, I know that I'm helping these people. So I go into it thinking that way and it allows me to get more deals, service them. And the client knows and feels that I care about them and their situation, which reflects on the numbers, the sales, the people who trust you. Yeah, I mean, that's my gist on what
Yeah.
it's like.
Well, no, 100%. And I mean, it's very important for you to have that frame because they can hear that tonality in your voice too. And that's
Mhm.
the thing that we try to tell any of our clients, any agents that are working with us. Like when you come into this, frame is everything, right? And it determines how that person treats you. If you go
Yeah.
in yourself as a doctor, you're the person that tells them what they need to do. But doctors are also caring, but they're also not really asking a lot of questions after the first few. They're like, you need to do this, 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 and this. You get to the end and they just make the decision whether or not they want to do it or not. And that's the best position to be as an agent. As far as when you're calling, if you could just give people like a sample, you could do like the intro, maybe a little bit into it, or you could just explain the intro, whatever you prefer. I think that will help agents out a lot.
I got you. I can give you a sample on my intro, but one thing I do want to say intro, the most important aspect of the intro is going to be tonality. Every single time, tonality is huge. It's crucial because it perceives people in a different way. So I'm huge on curiosity, on sounding confused, because it triggers something in these people's minds. We're like, oh, they want to hear more versus like, hey, this is Jaden calling you about the more hang up. I would hang up on somebody. You sound like everybody else. But let's say I call someone, I go, I'll role play with you. All right. Hey, Trey.
Yeah.
Trey, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can.
There we go. Sorry, man. My damn phone's been cutting in and out all day. Hey, this is Jaden Lea. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. What is this? Who are you?
Yeah, yeah. I was getting back to you. I was actually the underwriter assigned to looks like the mortgage protection inquiry you had sent in. You put down that you guys owe 320,000 on the house. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. There you go. You having all right day, my man? You sound
Yeah,
stressed out.
yeah, I'm doing good, man. You just caught me off guard. I saw this
I,
random, didn't know who it was.
absolutely. Yeah. No, I've been getting a bunch of phone calls too. All the robocalls. You've been getting a bunch of calls?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. Same thing. Yeah, I do the same thing. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I was just the one assigned to your file to help you guys out. Now, when you had filled this out, were you just looking for yourself, or did you have like a spouse in mind as well?
I'm married, so I was thinking about, I don't know, when I saw the ad, it was talking about getting insurance up to like, 200,000. Obviously, my house is worth more, so
Mhm.
me and my wife, I guess.
1000%. So you and the wife. So obviously, you're wanting to. I mean, what was kind of the main concern behind that? Obviously, you wanted to protect the wife. Do you guys have any kids or anything? Or
Nah, no kids. No kid. We've been married a few years. We don't have any kids right now.
there you go. Been married a few years. How's that been treating you?
It's been good, man. It's been good. I can't complain.
You got any advice for me? I'm single, unfortunately.
They're always right. And you know what I mean? It's not about you.
1000%. I'm gonna write that down in my notebook. All right. Now, obviously, is this? It sounds like, but is this the first time that you guys had looked into the mortgage protection?
Yes.
Okay. Does the wife know that you've been kind of looking into this, or
Yes. Yeah, we've talked about
okay?
it.
Yeah. What are just so I'm kind of aware? What are her thoughts about it? How does she feel?
She said she definitely feels like she needs it. I'm making majority of the money, so she was like, she wants to get a plan, obviously, on me, and then she works as well. She runs a hair
Nails
salon.
along.
Yeah.
Hair's long. Hell yeah.
One of
There you
them.
go. Okay. Yeah. So just wanted to make sure that she's taken care of. I just want to make sure that you guys are on the same page with it. Is this a call that you feel she needs to be on, or is this something that you can kind of handle the decision? She trusts you to make the right choice.
For the sake of this role play, let's role play both. Yeah, no, I think yeah, she's not here right now. I know she wanted me to get some information.
1000%. She wanted you to get some information.
Yeah,
Okay, gotcha. Now, obviously, getting the information, is this something that we need to get her on the call for? Or let me put it this way, hypothetically. Obviously, I don't know your situation just yet, but say we did find something that makes sense. Is this something that we would need to run by her first, or is this something that you can make the right decision on?
we probably need to run by with her.
Okay, perfect. Not a problem. Then what I'll do for you is let's just run over some information. That way I can kind of gather the situation that you guys are in, what you may need if you even need it in the first place. And then we can always set up a time with her, run over everything. Cause I know it's difficult to tell you something and then you tell her. Stuff gets lost in translation, obviously. So obviously want to have you both on the call. That way we can make a quality decision together. All right.
Yeah,
And then I'll roll into, do you know how it works? Are you familiar with how mortgage protection works? Break down the three different ways that it works. And then I'll get into health. I'll get into mortgage information. I'll get into income. Income is a huge thing that a lot of people don't get into, but it allows me to know my prospect. It allows me to know my client. What do they need? What do they need? What can they afford? What's going to be comfortable for them? And then I won't show numbers. I won't show numbers if the wife needs to be on the phone. I'll wait. I'll be like, all
perfect.
right, I've got everything I need. Let me do some digging for you. There's over 103 different insurance companies who offer coverage. I work with all of them. I position myself as the underwriter, the broker, let them know they don't have to shop around. I'm going to do that for them. And then boom.
Do your thing. Now, talk about the pricing dynamic.
Just say it again.
No, I was saying talk about the you said the three different what they need, what they have available. Like I'm a new agent. I'm like, oh, that sounds dope, Jaden. What does that mean?
1000%. So I have a script that I don't really follow the script. Like I don't read the script, but I use it to keep myself in order. Now, as far as what each thing means, you want to know these people's situation. So obviously you're not going to know how to assist them. You're not going to know what coverage they need, what they can qualify for. or what they can afford. So you need to gather that information. Otherwise, you're just going to be throwing random numbers out there. A, they're only going to be thinking about price. They're not going to think about what it does for them or the benefits of it. And B, they might not even be able to afford it. They're going to be like, oh, well, this is way too expensive. Just so you have to know your client's situation. I ask the mortgage balance, how many years they have left to pay on it. Do they plan on paying that off anytime sooner? What the mortgage payment is with taxes, insurance, escrow, all that, and then what the home is worth if they were to sell it. This gives me every single piece of that I need. Now I know if they can qualify for term once I ask them health, get them term that matches up with their mortgage, or let's say they have 30 years, but they plan on paying it in 20. I'm not going to get them 30 years. I'm going to get them 20 because that's all they'll need. And then health. Are you old? Are you young? Do you have cancer? Are you pretty healthy? Can you qualify for term? I'm not going to show you term if you can't qualify for it. Smoking, etc. Just get the whole situation on the health. And then a big thing on the income side of things is I don't just ask, what do you and the wife make a month? That's way too broad. That doesn't really give me anything, any leverage, any situational aspects of how their life works. What does the husband bring in? He's the breadwinner. Okay, you bring in 12,000. Okay, how about the wife? The wife brings in 3,000. Okay, so you guys bring in 15,000 a month. Okay, cool. Now, as far as once you guys take care of your mortgage, your bills, your gas, utilities, every single bill, all your fun stuff, maybe a couple date nights too, how much are you guys typically left over with at the end of the month on the conservative side? We're left with like 2 grand. Okay, gotcha. So I can definitely see the concern here. If you passed away tomorrow, whoever the name is, then your wife would be, I mean, man, she would be negative like $9,000, $10,000 the very first month. Right. She would be. Okay. So I can see you're just wanting to make sure that XYZ doesn't happen. You're wanting to make sure that she doesn't lose the house, doesn't struggle to pay bills on top of grieving you. And I'm building so much value within that alone that it's like they can actually see. Because right now they're like, oh, we have 2 grand a month. Like we're in a good position. But when I say first month in, your wife will be negative X amount of dollars, that instantly sparks urgency in their mind. It builds a consequence. It builds a gap. Holy cow, 10,000. Very first month, negative 10,000. Like I need to make sure that that doesn't happen. And that's where I'm building value. And then also, obviously, do they have insurance? What coverage do they have to allow me to, and I'll categorize it. Oh, we have 250,000 through work. Okay. Just like the accidental coverage. Yeah, it's just accidental. Okay, sweet. Obviously work coverage is awesome. I recommend you take advantage of that. You know, normally it's free most of the time, or sometimes it's just really cheap. But obviously, you're familiar that it doesn't go with you when you leave, get fired, retire, or if it does, it's really expensive, right? And then I use the word assume a lot. So instead of asking, "Are you looking for this?" I go, "I'm assuming you're looking for that, right?" It's so easy for them to be like, "Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was looking for." So it's framing them. I know I kind of went on a tangent there, but like that is quite literally the most important aspects. You need to know their situation to be able to build a gap.
100%. Brings me back to when I used to sell, bro, a few years ago. But nonetheless, though, no, you're spot on, man. I wanted you to elaborate on it because I love to tell people like it's one thing to hear me say it, but they need to hear you say it. They need to hear you all explain that because it's super important. I hear agents all the time, yo, Trey, I'm trying to close more deals. And I'm like, all right, did you follow the trainings that we have online, trainings like this that will help you? They're like, no, like, I'm like, all right, let me hear your script or send me a recording. They send a recording to our team and they build no value. They go straight into just submitting an application and they just pitch numbers that have nothing apparent, no supplemental income, no equity protection, no real understanding of what it's going to help and how it's going to help the client. And it's like, bro, you're not going to be successful until you can actually build true value. And there's no inherent value in pitching $200,000 or even $30,000 unless you attach it to something. So
Exactly.
I'm happy you explained that, bro. I thought it was dope, and I'm happy that they're able to kind of hear that.
They can come join my team. I'll get them paid.
Yeah, facts. So, last question, bro. Anybody that's looking to work with us, we're kind of pivoting away from sales. I appreciate you for going in depth on that.
Of course.
Anybody that is coming to work with us at Agent Lead Lab, whether they're a solo agent or they're
Mhm.
deciding to do, the Apex package, which is what you and the team are doing.
Mhm.
What advice would you give for them? Final words, anything that you would kind of let them know about this process?
Yeah. So first and foremost, normally with any lead campaign, I know this for a fact. It's not you guys, it's every single lead company. Meta has to figure out your audience. Meta needs time to adjust and make sure that you're targeting the right people, etc. Give it a week or two before you sit here and complain about stuff. Now, also with that, there will never be a lead company, anything that is 100% perfect. Every single week is perfect. They're the best leads in the world. There's infinite. It's always going to depend on specific weeks. One thing that I tell people, don't blame the leads. Like it will never be the lead's fault if you're unprofitable, if you're not closing deals. Now, I know that these leads firsthand are solid and I know that they work. But if there's a week where I don't close as many deals, am I calling you up saying, hey bro, what the hell's going on? No, it's on me because I either didn't put enough work in, I didn't do enough, or I had a struggle on, the sales side, or I was busy training other people. That's my fault. It's not your guys' fault. So go into it with the mindset of obviously leads are going to be there to help you and leads are important, but it is up to you at the end of the day, whether you're successful or not. There's people who close there's someone I know who closes a lot of a business on dollar leads. So it's like that goes to show it's not the leads, it's your skill set. And if you can't handle the leads and you're not closing deals at the level you want to, take a zoom out and look at yourself. What do you need to do to get better to close leads, to build value, to get better at tonality? And the results will come because the leads are solid. That's what I would say.
My guy, I appreciate you, brother. Well, hey, thank you for taking the time. As always, you all, you can go to the website. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can get in contact with us directly. And for anybody that wants to work with Jaden, if you want to hit us up too, you can always do that as well. If you like his style, you like, yo, I think I might want to join his team. Just let somebody else know we can put you in contact with him as well. We appreciate
Oh yeah, of
his team, the business as they keep growing. So appreciate you, brother. Otherwise, outside of that, I will see you all later. Peace.
course, brother.